Hello everyone, myself Dr. S. Mohammed Nazeer. This class I am going to teach you microeconomics. In microeconomics, cost and cost curves. Now cost function. Cost function explains the relationship between the cost, that is expenditure, incurred in production and the output of the commodity. So output is function of cost. The graph of the cost function is called cost curves. Now types of cost. There are various types of cost. Let us discuss their meaning, nature, behavior, and relationship between them in detail. First one is money cost. The second one is explicit cost. The third one is the implicit cost. Fourth one is the real cost. The fifth one is the opportunity cost or alternative cost. The next one is the total cost. The next one is the average cost. Next one is the marginal cost, and then fixed cost, variable cost, average variable cost, average fixed cost, and average total cost or average cost. So these are the types of cost. Let's see one by one. Money cost. In order to produce a commodity, the firm incurred some money amount, some money expenditure. That is called money cost. There are two types of money cost. One is explicit cost and another one is implicit cost. Now explicit cost. Explicit cost are those expenses which can incurred by a firm in buying goods and services directly. They included rent for land, interest for capital borrowed, wages and salaries for laborers, and power, light, fuel advertisements, transportations, tax, everything comes under explicit cost. So explicit cost are paid out cost. Now implicit cost. Implicit cost are the remuneration for the factors of production contributed by entrepreneur himself. The implicit cost include wages for management, rent to the entrepreneur's land, and interest to the entrepreneur's capital. So the difference of implicit cost and explicit cost is, explicit cost is if the labor is come somewhere else and he is doing the work, for that he is earning wage. So the entrepreneur is giving wage to that labor, that is called explicit cost. If entrepreneur itself working as a laborer in his company, he is taking wage, then this cost is called implicit cost. Likewise, his land is getting rent. So this is called implicit cost. Someone land, he is giving rent to someone else, that is explicit cost. Okay, now real cost. The real cost of production refers to the physical quantities of various factors used in producing a commodity. The efforts and sacrifices of the entrepreneur are called the real cost of production. Now, opportunity cost. Opportunity cost is very important concept in economics. It is also known as alternative cost. The concept of opportunity cost is based on a fundamental fact that wants are unlimited and means to satisfy them are limited. Thus, problem of choice is involved. We have to choose the more urgent than the less urgent. If we choose one thing, we must sacrifice others. That means the satisfaction of one want involves the sacrifice of another, because the same resource cannot be used in both the ways at the same time. Hence, the use of factors of producing a commodity always involves loss of opportunity of production of some other commodity. Thus, the sacrifice or loss of opportunity of alternate use of a given resources is termed as opportunity cost. I repeat, the use of factors of producing a commodity always involves loss of opportunity of production of some other commodity. Thus, the sacrifice or loss of opportunity of alternate use of a given resources is termed as opportunity cost. Suppose, if the lemon is there, we can use this lemon for making juice. If we are using this lemon for making juice, we are sacrificing the lemon pickle. So the lemon juice opportunity cost is lemon pickle. I am a laborer. I am working as a assistant professor in a college. I am earning some amount of money. Say example, 50,000 rupees. If I am working as a manager in a company somewhere else, I am getting 30,000 rupees over there. So I am sacrificing that 30,000 rupees and I am working here as a professor. I am earning 15,000 rupees. I am sacrificing that 30,000 rupees. That is opportunity cost of myself. That is my labor sacrifice that amount 30,000 rupees. So this is the opportunity cost. Now total cost, TC. The total cost is the sum of expenditure incurred by a firm in producing a given level of output. We can say TC equals to TFC plus TVC. TC denotes total cost equals to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Now average cost, AC. Average cost or cost per unit is obtained by dividing the total cost by number of units produced. So AC equals to total cost divided by total output. We get cost per unit. That is the average cost. Now marginal cost. Marginal cost is the rate of change of total cost for 1 unit change in output. In other words, marginal cost is the cost represents the change in total cost by producing 1 more unit of the commodity. So the marginal cost is additional cost made to the total cost by producing 1 more unit of the commodity. Therefore, MC marginal cost is equals to change in total cost divided by change in total output. I repeat, marginal cost is equals to change in total cost divided by change in total output. Now fixed cost. Fixed cost is a cost which do not vary with output in the short run, but it may vary in the long run. Total fixed cost is the amount spent by the firm on fixed input in the short run. In other words, fixed cost is not dependent upon output. That is, fixed cost remain constant at all levels of output. I repeat, fixed cost remain constant at all levels of output. Fixed cost includes rent, depreciation, interest, machinery, equipment, salary to the permanent staff, etc. Total fixed cost also called overhead cost or supplementary cost or sunk cost. See, for example, I am an entrepreneur, I am producing a commodity, I am taking a land for rent. If I am producing a commodity or not, I have to pay rent monthly to the landowner. So this is called fixed cost. So I am for my factory, I am engaging on security. In that security, I have to pay a wage to that security. If I am producing or not, I have to pay the salary to the security. It is called a fixed cost. Variable cost. Variable cost is a cost which do vary with output. When output increases, the cost also will increase. In other words, the total variable cost are those costs which rise when output expand and fall when output contracts. When output decreases, this cost will decrease. When output increases, this cost will increase. These are the cost of all those factors of production whose amount can be altered in the short run. Variable cost includes raw materials, advertisement expenses, fuel and power, etc. So the variable cost as prime cost or direct cost. Now average variable cost. We can get the average variable cost equals to total variable cost by total output. Now average fixed cost. AFC equals to total fixed cost divided by total output. So these are the different types of cost. Let me see the different types of cost curves with the help of the diagrams. The total cost of the firm will increase with the increase in output. The total variable cost will also increase with the increase in output. The total fixed cost will be constant whatever be the output. So this is the total fixed cost. This is the output. Whatever may be the output, the total fixed cost is same. When output increases, the variable cost is also increases. If we add this TVC and TFC, we get the total cost. Now, other cost curves. So in this diagram, x-axis represents output, y-axis represents cost. So this curve is marginal cost curve. This is the average total cost. This is the average variable cost. This is the average fixed cost. Let's see the U-shaped shortened average cost curve. This diagram shows the shortened average cost curve. The shortened average cost curve is U-shaped curve. So look here, the AC curve is U-shaped curve. The average cost curve are high at low levels of output because both the average fixed cost and average variable cost are large. But as production increases, the average costs fall more sharply due to the combined effect of the declining average fixed and average variable cost. I repeat, but as production increases, the average cost fall more sharply due to the combined effect of the declining average fixed and average variable cost. The average cost will continue to fall till they reach the minimum point. This is the minimum point. The average cost continuously fall till it reaches the minimum point, which is the optimum level of output. Once the optimum output is reached, average cost start rising as more is produced beyond this. The rise in average variable cost is more than offset by the small fall in average fixed cost, and the average cost will rise quickly. This is due to the overutilization of indivisible factors and the appearance of diseconomies of management, labor, etc. I repeat, the average cost increases after this point because of due to the overutilization of indivisible factors and the appearance of diseconomies of management, labor, etc., which rise the variable cost per unit of output and push the average cost curve upward. This gives short-run average cost curve U-shape. So when we are starting the production, the cost is very high. When the production increases, the cost is falling. When the output reaches the optimal level, the cost is more sharply fall. This is the optimal level of output. This is the low level of cost. After the output is increasing, the cost will increase. That is the reason in the short run, average cost curve is U-shape. Now, relationship between average cost and marginal cost curve. So in this diagram, this is average cost curve. This is the marginal cost curve. When the average cost curve is sloping downward, its slopes will be negative. Which means when average cost curve is decreasing, marginal cost curve is less than AC. MC less than AC. Thus, when AC curve slopes downwards, MC curve will lie below the AC curve. AC curve slopes downwards, MC curve lie below AC curve. This is the first relationship. The second relationship, when the average cost curve is rising upward, its slope will be positive. When the average cost curve rising upward, its slopes will be positive, which means AC curve is increasing. Here, MC is greater than AC. MC curve is greater than AC. When average cost curve reaches at a minimum point, its slopes will be horizontal. That is 0. This is the point. This point is average cost. When the average cost reaches at the minimum point, its slopes will be horizontal. That is 0, which means when AC curve is minimum, MC equals to AC. The intersection point MC is equals to AC. That is, MC and AC curve intersect each other at point of minimum AC. We have drawn it. Now, long run cost curves. The long run is the period in which the firm can change its plant, equipment, and scale of production to meet the long run increase in demand. Since the period is long, the firm can change its cost by changing its techniques, methods, equipments, and scale of production. Hence, its costs are variable. there is no dichotomy of total cost into fixed and variable cost as in the short run. In the short run, total cost is equals to total fixed cost plus total variable cost. Here, there is no fixed cost, only the variable cost. So, there is no dichotomy of total cost into fixed and variable cost. In the long run, we have to examine the unit cost of a firm. We come across only the average and the marginal cost. This diagram shows the long run average cost curve. X-axis represents output and the y-axis represents cost. The long run average cost is the long run total cost divided by the level of output. Thus, the long run average cost curve LAC is the cumulative picture of the short run average cost curve. In other words, it is derived from short run cost curve. This curve depicts the least possible average cost of production at different levels of output. The LAC is also called envelope curve. The LAC is also called envelope curve because it envelopes SAC1, SAC2 and SAC3. In diagram, SAC1 indicates the firm's initial short-run average cost curve. When the firm is working with one plant, in this case, the optimum output is OQ1. OQ1 is the optimum output. At the lowest average cost, P1 and Q1. P1 and Q1 is the cost. If output is to be increased to OQ2, in the short run, the average cost is to be increased from P1 Q1 to P2 Q2. P2 Q2. P1 Q1 to P2 Q2. But in the long run, when the second plant is added, the short run cost curve of the firm shift to a new position of SAC2. New position of SAC2. Suppose the third plant is installed. The output is increased to OQ3. Output is increased to OQ3 and the average cost is P3 Q3. Thus, by joining the points P1, P2, P3, the LAC curve is drawn as a tangent of various SAC curves. This is the long run average cost curve. Now we see the long run marginal cost curve. This diagram shows the long run marginal cost curve. The long run marginal cost curve is derived from the long run average cost curve. The LMC curve represents the cost of an additional unit of output when all productive services vary. Just as the SMC, LMC is related to SAC. Similarly, LMC is related to LAC. Hence, we can derive LMC curve from LAC curve. The LMC curve is also derived from the slope of the long run total cost curve at a given output. The LMC curve is in the diagram. This is the LMC curve. This is the LAC curve. In the diagram, we have shown three short-run average cost curve, namely SAC1, SAC2, SAC1, SAC2, SAC3 respectively. We have also drawn the corresponding short-run marginal cost curve, SMC1. This is the corresponding SAC1. SAC1 is the long-run average cost curve. The corresponding marginal cost curve is SMC1. So SAC2, then SMC2. SAC3, we have the corresponding marginal cost curve SM3 respectively. The LAC is the long run cost curve. So the corresponding marginal cost curve of LAC is LMC. So this is the long run marginal cost curve.